everybody, it's Safi and Marco, Dish Out on the Movies. Today we are reviewing the latest episode of Hell's Kitchen, episode 9, and it's something about...
Season 24.
Season 24, something about Anaya being scorned, which, I don't know. I think it's dumb, but
Why?
The title.
Oh. I thought you were going to say that, I don't know. But anyways, this episode I did not like.
I didn't either.
Did not like it at all. I thought that the challenge was kind of confusing, and it went by very fast. So the only thing that I kind of absorbed was that the women lost overwhelmingly, and for the first time, Alexandria did not get a point in a challenge. And I think she was having an off day. Because that's what it really felt like. Like, she didn't get a point. She always wins challenges. And so that was kind of like the start of like, uh-oh. You know, and then later on she continued to have bad luck. But then, of course, she had a whole situation that was contrived in such a way that, you know, we'll get to that. But Safi, what do you think about the challenge? Do you agree it was confusing?
Well, what happened was they had this guests coming in for the evening from this very well-known cooking school. It's called Johnson and Wales. And two of the chefs actually went to Johnson and Wales. It was... is it Chris and Anaya? They both have gone to school there. So anyway, the challenge was they were to cook. The two chefs that were like judges, and they were going to the team that had the most dishes they liked. They would be cooking those for dinner, and they decided to describe what exactly they wanted. And it turned out to be, and I don't remember it ever being specific, but they made, they have, now each team is very even right now. It's 5 on each team. So they had...
not anymore.
Well, not anymore. They had scallops, squid, or calamari, monkfish, duck, and beef fillet. So basically, I think the school is located in Rhode Island. And then, of course, this is Connecticut. So they're really getting to be on the coast with, the Atlantic Ocean. And so I guess it would make sense they would have mostly fish. So we have the team that cooked the most, got the most points. Their dishes would get on the evening's menu. So again, it's the men versus the women. And the first up was Jaden versus Lisa, and they made scallops. So that was the first dish, because that's going to be like not the entree, but the beginning. What do you call it?
The beginning.
The beginning of the meal.
Not hors d'oeuvres.
It's the hors d'oeuvre. But
appetizers.
Yeah, the appetizer. They don't say
Come on,
hors d'oeuvre.
Safi.
Yeah, but they don't ever say hors d'oeuvre, which is strange.
Well, go hors d'oeuvre yourself.
So anyway, and this was a little bit ironic, I'll tell you.
What?
Not for now, but for later.
What?
Because the scallops turned out to be the biggest problem.
Yeah.
Now, okay, so I'm going to just continue to say, so Jaden won against Lisa. The second one was Anaya versus Chris.
And she won.
And she won.
Unfortunately.
They made squid. And that was interesting because, like I said, both of these people did go to this cooking school. Then the next one was monkfish with Jada and Alexandra.
And Jada decided to do a bouillabaisse in her dish. I've never had that before. I've heard the term before, but I have no idea what that's like. But it seemed kind of like the judges were were just excited the fact that she did that all by itself, and so they were a little biased because they were very just happy that someone did that. Whereas with Alexandria, she did more of like a standard dish. And all that they really said was like her soup was too heavy or something. But she did not get the point. It was very surprising that for the first time... Because they said her dish really looked good. It looked really good, but then Jada won. And, I think that Jada's actually turning out to be a better chef than we'd had thought, too. She's doing a pretty good job this episode, and or in general, and yeah. Okay,
and the next one was Duck, and that was Ellie versus Anthony.
Kool-Aid girl. And no. And now I will announce my target because, as you guys know, for the last 8 episodes, or wait, which episode is this?
This is episode 9.
For the last 8 episodes, I have been targeting Cara Marie, a vegan chef who calls herself Daddy. Need I say more? Well, now that Cara Marie is gone, it's time for the Kool-Aid girl! Oh, yeah! The Kool-Aid girl this week, she had a lot of things to say. Oh, yeah!
Okay, well, she and Anthony made Duck. And Anthony won. And I don't remember what Ellie did wrong.
And you know what she wasn't saying after he got the point over her? Oh, yeah!
Okay. The next one, or the final one, is the beef. And it was Henry versus Cindy. And Henry won.
Henry kicked her ass because Henry's awesome. He's the man. He's just that guy. He is the best.
Okay, well, so for the
blue.
The reward was the blue team got to go parasailing over Cape Cod, and then they went to a very exclusive, I don't know if it was a resort or, a hotel too, or like a bed and breakfast. No, it couldn't be a bed and breakfast, but they got to eat there too, and they had, what is it, those little hard things, those clams?
They
weren't clams. Oysters. They had oysters. And then the red team, because they lost, they had to clean all the dorms. But they also, and this was a little bit uncertain, is they had to make a cake. And I saw them.
Yeah, they had to bake.
But there was nothing done with them. I don't know. They didn't show anything.
No, I think they probably ate them and we just didn't see it.
Okay, so that's kind of a shame. But
are you trying to rush through this episode, Safi?
No, I'm just trying to be more organized. So
okay. Now it's time.
They look good though.
Yeah, they look good.
At least the one cake I saw.
Now it's time for me to tell the tale of the Kool-Aid. Hey, this is my show.
Well, then, excuse me.
The tale of.
So you need to tell what happened at the beginning.
No, I'm gonna tell what happened. Okay, well we can circle back to that. I'm gonna tell the tale of the Kool-Aid girl. Oh yeah, the Kool-Aid girl. She just stands there and she observes, but she doesn't want to clean. She says, "I'm not a maid. I don't want to clean the dorms." Oh yeah. She just busted through the dorm's doors so that she could start cleaning. And then she watches Anaya. And Anaya... Safi, don't you understand what this is? Don't you know the Kool-Aid guy? Have you seen the commercial where he busts through the wall and he says, "Oh yeah"? Okay, well that's the Kool-Aid girl. Oh yeah!
Okay,
so she had to clean. And then Anaya was being a bitch. Just like usual. And Anaya was being such a bitch that her entire team has come to hate her. The Kool-Aid girl, the newest hater.
I think the other team doesn't like her either, actually.
Nobody likes Anaya.
Jada likes her.
Oh, yeah, Jada. She's a little short. Wait, no. She's a little slow.
I don't know what you're talking about. She's a really good chef.
I'll have to work on that part.
She's got kind of an attitude, so we'll see what happens.
I'll have to work on telling the tale. But anyways, Anaya just acted like a big bitch, like usual. She kept on, complaining, and she kept on bragging and acting like, she was better than everyone. And it was really, really hard to watch. It was cringeworthy. And then the episode started with, what, Safi? Because I can't remember.
Well, what happened was, the first of the episode was a continuation of last week.
Yeah.
And, Kool-Aid girl, I'm just going to say that.
Oh, yeah.
He kind of got after her, but, he didn't send her home, of course. But she said she didn't believe that he really meant to go after her. That I don't know exactly what she said, but it wasn't that bad. And Jada and Anaya started snarky talk about her and saying shitty things about I don't know, that she is a weak link, or I don't know, that they just started saying snarky stuff about her.
I can't remember, but what
happened way at the beginning was real quick.
It was very noticeable.
Well, yeah, they all noticed it. That's why I say I don't think the other team likes this person either.
Bullying.
Yeah, she's a bully. And so you started off with that. So you had this Kool-Aid girl, and she was already pissed off.
Kool-Aid girl.
She was already a little bit pissed off. Well, so were all the girls on the team at this Anaya person. That's why the episode is titled the way it is, about Anaya being scorned. So then we get to the dinner service. Now, the thing that confused me was, I thought since these were these chefs' recipes, they should be cooking them. Why does the red team have to be cooking? They should have, in fact, I thought that the other teams, since they won, they should be taking the lead on these recipes. And they weren't. And guess what happened? The thing with the scallops, remember I said that was almost like some kind of a signal or sign that something bad was going to happen? Well, both teams, including the winning team from earlier, they both overcooked the scallops and undercooked the scallops. And I don't get it. This is something that they have all the time there. It's not like even tonight, this night was the only time they ever had scallops. They cook them all the time. But neither team could get it right. And of course, guess who's on the fish station?
Let's talk about the women's fish station, which sounds pretty bad, but
Come on, Marco, get
this
going.
sounds really good. Safi, you're just trying to rush.
No,
I know what you're doing. I know exactly. This is called a review, and so I'm gonna get even slower now.
Well, then nobody's going to want to listen to it. They'll shut it off.
Station. They can just put it at 2 times speed and it'll sound normal.
If they want to take the trouble to do that.
Your mom's the trouble. Okay, so on the fish station, you had Anaya, the bitch, and you had Alexandria, who's a very scary woman. It was also very scary because when they were baking cakes, Alexandria started to get really happy. And when Alexandria gets happy, somehow she looks scarier than when she looks mad. Because she started to look like she was like really enjoying it, but then Anaya ruined it for her. So this episode was kind of like Anaya versus Alexandria. That's what they should have called it. And Alexandria screwed up the first couple of scallops. So what happened was, instead of allowing her to fix her mistake and sharing the fish station as it was meant to be shared by 2 people, Anaya completely took over and bullied Alexandria off of the station, to the point of where Alexandria just stood there while Anaya did all the fish cooking. And it just kind of felt like, okay, like, this is clearly, like, bad.
And she made mistakes. They had a problem with the lobster, apparently.
And to be honest, she sent up a raw lobster. And later on, she tried to pretend like she did nothing wrong. And this is and this is why I was saying, too, earlier on in the season, because this has happened this entire season where people will not take accountability for their mistakes. You know, they'll blame other people. This was another time, but this time all the other women on the team put her up for elimination regardless. But I think Alexandria...
Yeah, but she owned up to it, too.
Okay, Safi, I'm trying to talk here. Okay. Alexandria, this was the one time she tried to be nice, and she tried to be respectful, and she just kind of stood by and let Anaya do whatever she wanted to do, and it was a big mistake. She should never have done that, because it's bad just in terms of, you know, for Chef Gordon seeing her... and then, you know, deciding who's going to be head chef of his kitchen, that's a bad thing to do as well.
Yeah.
But it's also bad because, you know, I think Alexandria, after she screwed up the fish like she did at the beginning, I think she should have had some kind of a forethought about, like, or I guess some kind of a thought about, like, maybe I'm going to get sent home because... If my team loses. And so what I think she should have done is I think she should have pushed Anaya off of the station, and I think she should have been a huge bitch. I think she should have gone down fighting and just fucking up Anaya. Because that's what you have to do. You know, in Alexandria's position... You knew she was going to go home if she went up for elimination because she said that comment the other week about,
last
you know,
week.
If I ever get put up again, you can send me home. You know, she said that, and she should never have said that because that was not something that you should say ever. You know,
he remembered.
Yeah, he remembered. But so she should have recognized that, and she should have said, you know what, fuck it. I'm gonna fuck this bitch's life up, Anaya. I'm gonna mess it up for her. I'm gonna push her off of the station. She has no right to do this. It's my station too. Fuck that bitch. That's exactly what she should have done. And even, was it the Queen of the Crones who said it? The Queen of the Crones, Cindy Lou.
Oh.
The Queen of the Crones, she said that Alexandra cannot let herself be bullied. Like, you should not let yourself be bullied.
She did say that.
And so, it's just too bad because Alexandria folded because she was trying to be nice. She was trying to be nice because you know that if she had pushed Anaya off of the station, then Anaya would have later on blamed her for doing that. She would have said, oh, well, I couldn't even help. I was trying to help, and I got pushed off the station. So you knew that she was doomed either way.
Right.
Because of the mean girl.
Well, I think also just because she said that, it gave him an excuse because I don't think he knew who he was going to send home. Because Chris also screwed up the scallops.
You know who didn't screw up the scallops, though?
Who?
The Kool-Aid girl.
Okay. Well, anyway, so, and Alexander said that thing, and she shouldn't have said it.
Yeah.
Because it was real close, because both teams screwed up the scallops. And it was like separated by a thin little line, or whatever you want to call it. And because she said that, that gave him the excuse, well, I have to send you home because of what you said. And that was last week. You know, we heard that. I think they're like they're not playing every week. They're playing every day. This game, this reality show. So, it goes a lot quicker in reality than it does in TV time. So, so she was doomed, and she had been up there multiple times too.
Yeah.
And I don't think if you compare her to the other chefs who have not been up there multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think she was ever going to win the show.
Right, that's right. And
but
so
I did think, honestly, well, honestly, if I was Chef Gordon, I would have sent Anaya home.
Well, he'll probably end up doing
the
that.
The only reason, because I had this feeling very early on in the season, and I didn't say anything. I think that she's purposefully being kept there for ratings because she's a bully and because, it creates drama and maybe that boosts ratings. She's very, very similar to a female chef who's been in a past season, and her name was Elise. And Safi doesn't know the legend of Elise.
Well,
but she was a huge bitch. She was a bully. She was exactly like her. In fact, I think Elise was way better. I think Elise is much better. I think Anaya is worse.
Well,
I think she's way worse. You wouldn't know, Safi.
I know. The thing is, I remember watching this years ago, and I've said repeatedly why it had stopped. I don't see it this time, but the smoking. But anyway, I'm not going to go into that because I've said it too many times. They showed scenes from next week, which it won't be next week because next week is Thanksgiving on Thursday, so it'll be the week after, I'm sure. And they showed Anaya pretending to be very chummy and very team-oriented, but then she starts fucking up people's dishes. See, she starts doing sabotage. And I've seen this in others, Hell's Kitchen, or it was Master Chef seasons where they actually had people, I think it was Hell's Kitchen, purposely sabotage somebody else's dish in such a way they got in trouble, but the person who really did it, didn't get into trouble. And they show her, it looks like she's going to sabotage. Because what happened was when Alexander was up there, she went into this big thing about how she wasn't even allowed to correct her mistake.
And she wasn't.
And that's right. She was telling the truth. And Anaya just took over, which Marco said. And so, because all of the team, they noticed this. And they've noticed all the other things about this girl, too.
And so,
Anaya.
Now it's my turn to continue the story.
Seal the deal.
Because also on the men's side, Chris and Jaden were put up. I will say, too, Safi's been kind of rushing this review as usual now. That's become like a routine
says
for her.
I just talk too much.
It's become a routine.
And take too much time.
It's become a routine.
No.
Well, see, when I did the Hell's Kitchen reviews by myself, they were like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
But anyways, Jaden smiled for the first time in the history of the show this episode. In the middle of the episode on the reward, he had a big smile on his face while he was eating lunch. And I thought that was hilarious because you know that I know that he's Yellow John.
Oh.
So, and they have not talked about that again, by the way. But
no.
Him and Chris were put up, and see, from Chef Gordon's perspective, both of the men are just kind of whatever. I mean, Chris barely escaped last week, getting, eliminated. He escaped. He was the last person to escape. And
he barely escaped this week, too.
Jaden, he's always up there. He's like the kid in the principal's office. And in fact, Jaden had the gall to say that Henry was the weakest chef on the men's team.
I couldn't believe he said
which
that.
That was totally bullshit.
It was. I couldn't believe he said that.
And that's what I was saying about how this has bothered me with this season, how the chefs are so dishonest and they're so fake and phony. and they blame other people. It's really, really bad. But then Alexandria, she got really upset, and she started being like, you can't teach character. She said a lot of really good things, though. Like, she said, you can't teach character. You can teach Anaya how to cook, but you can't teach her how to be a better person, how to be a good person.
Yeah.
And that's a very, very, very good thing.
Very
and
introspective.
and I thought, like, that's something that we would have said that, like, we wish that would have been said on the show. So it was really cool, actually, that they got those thoughts out in the air, in the open.
Yeah.
And then Gordon, he was like, well, also Alexandria said too, she said a good chef and a good leader owns up to their mistakes and takes accountability, of which Alexandria did.
Right.
And I thought she had a really good argument. But then Gordon was like, he asked the team, is Anaya a bad girl?
He didn't say it like that, but he really did say, is she the problem?
The first person who spoke up was the Kool-Aid girl. Oh, yeah. She said, you know what, Chef? There's been some whack comments in the dorms. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Whack comments. Like, that was that might be one of the funniest quotes in Hell's Kitchen history. Like, there's been some whack comments. It's just so weird. It's like, Safi, you made a whack comment the other day.
I just think it's, I'm thinking about the whole thing. I think it's a weird group.
Really?
Yeah.
Like, what? The Kool-Aid girl is weird?
Just the whole group.
The Queen of the Crones?
That,
Lisa from California?
Well, no, she's just quiet. She was very quiet.
You wouldn't hang out with Lisa?
She did say something.
Lisa said Anaya was a bitch.
Yes, she did.
The Queen of the Crones
and
said she was a bitch.
She didn't say anything for a while.
They
she was
all
the
said.
last one to speak.
Yeah, so it was kind of like the whole team just, stood up and said, actually, fuck Anaya. She sucks. Just because she can cook in challenges and get points in challenges, that doesn't mean that she should be the head of the kitchen. And I would say, too, it was hilarious because Gordon was like, Anaya, were you micromanaging?
Yeah, I thought that was interesting because I bet he does that.
That was hilarious. It was just such a funny way of putting it. Like, Anaya, were you micromanaging tonight? And she was like, no, chef. She's very childish.
Well, she's like 22.
That doesn't matter.
No
Who
offense,
cares?
But, she's immature.
She's old enough to vote.
That doesn't matter. She's immature as far as, getting along with people. And that's another thing. They just talked about it. A person who's head chef has to lead and has to admit they're wrong when they are.
And so what I thought was going to happen to me, I thought that Gordon was going to send Chris home so that he wouldn't have to decide between Alexandria and Anaya.
And I thought he was right, too.
Yeah. But Gordon sent home Alexandria.
Well, because she said that thing, and I had forgotten all about that.
I didn't forget, but I just kind of thought, like,
that happened at the end of the episode.
It's something that you say in a reality show, I guess. Like, whenever you're up for elimination, you say a lot of things. Like, you say, I gotta fight, I gotta put the fire in me. You say a bunch of bullshit, but I thought it was really shitty because Gordon was in a position where, Alexandria is not the best chef.
No.
But she's good. Like, she likes baking, so maybe she's a better baker, but she is a really good chef in general. I just don't think that she's head chef material, but, like, he was in a position where if he sent Alexandria home, it's almost like he's siding with Anaya, and he's saying that the bullying was okay. Mm-hmm. And I think that that's bad. Because
we'll see what happens.
This has not been the first time in the series in the grand scheme of things where he has not sided with the victim in a bullying situation. And so I think that's bad.
Like them all saying those things.
What do you mean?
I don't think he liked it. He said something.
Yeah, he gave them a warning
Well,
after
said
the elimination. Like
something like they
Yeah.
about not being friends, just being maybe just getting along and just doing what you're supposed to be doing and worrying about that.
No, he said something like he never wants to hear about a bad work environment again. And it's like, well,
I
good
don't
luck
know.
with that,
I know,
Chef Gordon.
That's not reality sometimes.
You got the. I mean, that you could have a bad work environment even in a good work environment. You know, like. But the thing is that like, I don't know who he's fooling with Anaya. I think that not sending her home was a bad idea. I think she was kept there for ratings, which I don't like. I don't like Anaya at all.
Marco said that too. That he thought they were just because there's drama. She brings drama, quote drama, to the show, and so it's kind of like the show's supposed to be about who's the best, going to be the best head chef, but the drama's like seasoning, to the dish. Like spicy seasoning.
Safi doesn't put any seasoning on her food.
I do, but
I have to put the
Marco
pepper on.
Overdoes it with the pepper.
No, Safi doesn't put any
coughing
pepper
and
on.
Sneezing.
So
and crazy. Actually, I put pepper on the.
I have to put the pepper
I
on.
made a vegetable beef soup.
Yeah.
And I did put a ton of pepper, which I thought, why did I do that? I'm cooking myself.
We haven't had this soup since like 2020 or something.
It's been a couple years.
So like we were really excited to have it. It's a very simple soup. It's something that you should really have every year. And so we were very excited about having that. But anyways,
especially when it gets cold.
Yeah, but anyways, I would give this episode a D. I didn't really like anything about it. I did think it was funny that the Kool-Aid girl, oh yeah, she came up with a term that I will forever use on this channel, which is whack comments. So whenever people comment, like, maybe I should write in the comments under every video, I should put a comment that says, now I don't want to see any whack comments here.
Well, I'll just give it a C. I didn't, it's really weird because basically this episode was focused mainly on the drama.
Yeah,
even
I didn't like that.
Even if it was the winning team, because I told you
there was no winning team too. Again,
that's right. There was no winning team.
No winning
the
team.
team that won the right to have their dishes be featured in the evening's service for this cooking school at the end. Because I told you, they both burn scallops, which is to me inexcusable. And oh yeah, I don't know what happened, but Chris, I told you he burned the scallops. It was like he was spacey, and then he undercooked them, and it ended up he didn't have any scallops left.
Yeah,
and he was supposed to have some. So I don't know what happened.
Chris had to go into the freezer to get some more.
Oh, okay.
And so that was another reason why I thought he might get sent home.
Yeah.
And that was kind of sad, too, because I guess he went to their school, so he was kind of upset that he didn't do good.
That he didn't do better, but they didn't.
In the service.
They didn't catch it. The school didn't know it. They actually liked all their food. Because in the end, Chef Gordon told them that. He just said that he didn't like their performance, but he said the school did enjoy the food. So, whatever.
Well,
I'll just give it a C.
Have any last words?
That kind of drama doesn't endear me to want to watch it, and basically, I'm just looking at trying to figure out who's going to win.
Don't you feel bad for the Kool-Aid girl? I mean, you look at her face, and she always looks upset about something. Well, she always looks like, because she is like a Roblox character, she always looks upset.
She does. She does look like a comic book character. It's really weird.
I mean, it just, you think about, like, how is that even humanly possible? Like, just
But she
there's
has
some.
these earrings and a nose and everything.
You just like to go up to her and just like, just go like, just try to like figure out like how did that even happen? How is this possible? How is this humanly possible? Did Jack Black create the Kool-Aid girl in Minecraft?
She actually...
Did he create Ellie? Ellie, have you been created?
She was like the sheep. But I don't think...
The sheep?
Yeah, the sheep in the Minecraft movie.
No, she is a person, Safi.
Yeah, I know.
She is a human person.
She's got the color.
She's a Kool-Aid girl. She's a nice Kool-Aid girl, but she's always sad. She's always very, very sad.
Yeah.
She was very sad she had to clean up the dorms.
Well, I don't blame her. Because they
I think, you know what?
They're still going to, in their real lives,
you gotta clean.
They have to clean their house or their apartment, wherever they live.
And also, too, if you're a head chef or you work in a kitchen,
you have to clean.
You gotta make sure the kitchen is sparkling clean.
Because of health inspection.
Yeah. So, I think, to me, that's why whenever these punishments happen where it's like you have to clean... It's like really like this is not really a punishment. It's just kind of like something that you have to do as a chef when you're, or just anything. But I mean, you have to clean. No
offense to anybody, but it would have been really interesting to see if the men had lost, how well they cleaned their place.
God, Safi.
Because of the thing that happened last week.
Because of Yellow John?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't even know who Yellow John is. I said it was Jaden, but I don't know.
Last week they didn't get in trouble.
What if it was the Kool-Aid girl? What if it was the Kool-Aid girl?
No, it wasn't a girl.
What if she busted in the stall and she was like, "Oh yeah."
No.
And then she was like, and then she just left.
It was not a girl.
How do you know? How do you know?
Okay, every female who listens to this channel, you tell Marco
Safi.
Women don't pee on the effing floor when they go to the bathroom.
No, there is a French movie where that happened, in a way.
Oh, God.
Give
me a break. I don't believe it for 1 second.
In French movies, they don't even fake that kind of stuff. They do it for real.
Okay.
These two girls had a peeing contest. It was a coming-of-age movie about a cannibal girl. And it was made by the same woman who did that robot movie. Remember that Titane movie? The French movie?
No.
So come on, Safi. You don't remember the movie with the naked girl, like the twerk on the car, and then she had sex with the car?
I didn't know that was a French movie.
And then she had a robot baby.
Oh, yeah.
That was made by the same woman as, she likes to have a lot of naked women. Well,
that was an interesting movie, though.
Yeah, it was a really good movie. I love that movie. But, French movies. But so that movie has established that it is possible.
No, I believe it.
And the Kool-Aid girl,
Sorry.
she is of strange character. She is of strange character.
No, she's not.
She might be able to do superhuman things.
She's very creative with her look.
Oh, so she's very creative with her looks.
She's like
I wonder.
Like a rainbow flag or a.
I wonder.
Like a scarf.
I wonder how else she's creative. I wonder what other places
Marco,
she gets creative.
Okay, that's enough. That's just bullshit.
Will the accused stand up now?
Okay, it's time to sign off. So
really?
If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and become one of our subscribers. We're out now on number
757.
That's right, 757 people. And
leave some whack comments down below. The more whack, the better.
And that's it. And we also, Marco has completed one of his projects. And if you want to view it, you can donate some money to the Patreon channel in order to watch it.
And there's also behind the scenes content. There is an hour and 40 minutes of behind the scenes video.
Marco's completely in charge of all that. So that's why I can't really speak to all of it. But I did see the short is available in color and in black and white. So you could see both. It's interesting to see which one you would like the best.
Yeah.
So we have watched in the past, and we do watch black and white movies and black and white shows. So I know that, I grew up with it being black and white, and then it turned to color when I was a kid. And everybody wanted it real bad. Everybody wanted a color TV set. Wow, when those came out, everybody's like, oh, I gotta have one of those. And they had this humongous, it was like the cell phone when it first came out. It was huge. And
in fact, in like the early color movies, like Curse of Frankenstein, they were so excited about the color that I heard that they individually painted all the leaves in the movie to make them more colorful.
Wow.
Because they wanted the color to pop out.
Yeah, it's early. It was early technology, but the thing is, what I'm saying is, it's an interesting thing to see both.
Yeah, because another thing that's been said in general is that if something doesn't look good in black and white, it's not going to look good in color, and vice versa.
That could be too. So
mine looks good in both.
Yeah, I really, it's a short, mind you, but it's really good, and he worked really hard, and he
Not
did
really.
it with the shoestring.
I only
budget.
filmed for like 6 days, so it wasn't really a big deal.
He still came up with all the special effects, and it isn't just you think, oh, I'm going to do this, and then you do it, and it's perfect. No, you have to kind of like you do the special effect off camera, and then and to see how it works out, because you might find out before you even film it that what you came up with isn't going to work. So you have to work with it for a while and develop it to the way you want to develop it. Then you film it, and it might take a couple of times to film it, because you're talking about a special effect, and so it takes special expertise to get it the way you want it. So it's really good, and he has a promising start, and he worked really hard. He did it by himself. I just helped him get things, and I might have set up the shot, or sometimes I help with the shot. And
yeah, Safi filmed a couple of the shots.
Yeah, I was really nervous because I am not. I've never purported to be a photo person. Whenever I used to work, I used to do newspaper stories, and whenever I had to provide the photograph, I was never comfortable with it because I'm just not, a photographer.
Well, that's a part of being an adult, is that sometimes you have to step out of your comfort zone
Yes,
and
I
do
know
things
that, but I knew that other people could do a better job. But anyway...
well, we got what we needed.
Yes,
I mean, I got
right.
what I needed.
Marco did get what he needed, and it all worked out.
Yeah.
So I hope that you take advantage of being able to see his short. And we did it for like almost absolutely nothing. So that's why, we stretched every penny as far as you could stretch it. Now there's no more penny. You do know that they're not making them anymore. And,
well, actually, I continue to find pennies.
they're not making them anymore.
No,
so
that's
yeah.
a lie. Okay, so
No, they're not.
No. But you're saying that, I don't know what you're saying. Like I'm able to find so many pennies because they're not making. That doesn't make any sense at all.
These people are just not caring about them.
I have a history of being able to find pennies. Pennies just show up, and they come to me. I have a whole coin purse full of pennies that I've found.
And they add up too. I'll tell you. When you, if you want extra change to make something, to get a few dollars to do laundry or something.
No, I'll be keeping all the pennies.
They can add up. All the change you find can really add up. You would be surprised.
Get your own change. Find your own change.
Oh my God.
Look at the parking lot. Reach under the couch. So?
That's it. So, Goodbye, everybody.
Bye. Drink some Kool-Aid.